Have you ever tried carrying a Glock 19 in gym shorts? Yeah, unless you're built like a tactical kangaroo, that thing's printing harder than your high school crush's diary. For years, we've all bowed at the altar of 9mm. It's the go-to, the default, the real man's caliber, right? But let me tell you, times are changing, quietly, and maybe a little smugly. The 380 ACP has crept back onto the concealed carry throne, and it didn't come back weak. Thanks to modern hollow point ammo, smarter gun designs, and folks finally realizing that actually carrying a gun beats leaving your 9mm at home. The 380 isn't just viable, it's damn smart. Today, I'm walking you through the 380 pistols that don't just hold their own, they make you question why you ever thought bigger was always better. Let's talk about comfort, control, capacity, and why these little beasts are the new kings of concealed carry. Let's get something out of the way. Yes, 9mm is stronger, it hits harder, it penetrates deeper, and it makes a bigger hole. But here's the question nobody asks. Can you shoot it well? Under pressure? Out of a subcompact? 380 has something 9mm doesn't. Forgiveness, less recoil, lighter weight, slimmer frames. You're faster on follow-ups and more accurate when your hands are shaking. And when paired with modern loads like Hornady Critical Defense or Federal HST, 380 gets the job done where it matters up close and real fast. Think of it this way. What good is stopping power if the only thing you're hitting is drywall? So, now that we've got the myths out of the way, it's time to meet the 380s that are actually worth carrying. If there's one pistol that made people stop calling the 380 a mouse gun, it's the Ruger LCP Max. On paper, it already sounds too good. 10+1 rounds, only 10.6 ounces unloaded, and slimmer than a smartphone. But it was a real post I saw on Reddit that locked it in for me. One guy, let's call him Mike, shared how he carried his LCP Max every day for 6 months in an IWB holster while working in HVAC in Texas. We're talking sweaty, crawling through attics, t-shirt and cargo shorts weather, he said, and I quote, "It's the first pistol I've ever actually forgotten I was carrying, until I leaned against a ladder wrong." No poking, no printing, no regrets. He'd switched from a Glock 43, and the difference was night and day. Less weight, more capacity, smoother draw, and he actually carried it instead of making excuses. Now, the improved trigger makes it feel less like a toy and more like a serious tool. And those night sights? Bright enough to spot at 2 a.m. when his dog decided to go full alert at a raccoon in the backyard. This pistol isn't just small, it's clever. It solves the real-world problems that keep people from carrying every day. Ruger didn't just build a better 380, they built a better reason to carry. The original Bodyguard 380 had a reputation and not a good one. Heavy triggers, awkward sights, weird laser gimmicks. It was the gun you bought on sale and regretted halfway through your first box of ammo. But then came the 2.0 version, and it quietly fixed what needed fixing. The trigger's cleaner, the sights are sharper, and the ergonomics feel a lot more like the rest of the M&P line. I first started paying attention again after seeing a video from a woman named Andrea on a concealed carry Facebook group. She just qualified for her state's permit using the Bodyguard 2.0 and wrote, "I have arthritis in my hands, and the LCP hurt after 3 rounds. The Bodyguard 2.0 didn't. I finished the entire course and passed with all center hits." That stuck with me not because it's some big tactical story, but because it's real. This is a gun that people who aren't instructors, veterans, or gun nuts can still carry, shoot, and rely on. And with its 10+1 capacity, lightweight 12-ounce build, and smooth, snag-free lines, it slides right into pocket carry without drama. Is it flashy? No. But then again, neither is a fire extinguisher, and both are there to save your life when things go sideways. A lot of folks scoff when they hear 6+1 capacity in a concealed carry pistol. And sure, compared to double-stack micros like the LCP Max, the Glock 42 sounds like it's a step behind. But here's the thing, Glocks don't make excuses. They just run. At 15.9 ounces, this is one of the lightest pistols Glock has ever made. And while it's a touch bigger than some other 380 autos, that extra size works in your favor. The recoil is softer, the grip more stable, and the slide, well, it glides smoother than a bourbon commercial. What makes the Glock 42 special isn't capacity, its shootability. People with smaller hands, weaker wrists, or who simply hate snappy micros tend to shoot this thing better, faster, and more accurately than nearly anything else in its class. And because it's a Glock, you've got aftermarket galore holsters, night sights, trigger upgrades, mag extensions, you name it. This gun fits into your existing setup with zero drama. If you're someone who's all about reliability, muscle memory, and no surprises, the Glock 42 delivers. It's like a mini version of your duty gun that went on a diet but kept the attitude. No gimmicks, no frills, just Glock, shrunk down and ready to ride. There's something about the Sig Sauer P238 that doesn't hit you like a typical carry gun. At first glance, it looks more like a collector's piece than a tool built for daily defense. Stainless steel slide, clean serrations, beautiful finishes from nitron to two-tone rosewood grips. This thing looks expensive because it is. But under that polished exterior is a pistol with serious street sense. At 16 ounces, the P238 is all metal, which means it soaks up recoil beautifully. Combine that with a crisp single-action trigger, 1911-style manual safety, and easy-to-rack slide, and you get a gun that shoots like a dream smooth, flat, and fast. The sights are proper 3-dot, and surprisingly good for a pistol this small. Controls are intuitive for anyone with 1911 experience, and even if you've never touched one, the learning curve is gentle. Is it the most practical? Maybe not. It's pricey. It's a bit fancier than most folks need, and 6+1 capacity is modest. But if you want a 380 that doesn't feel like a compromise, one that disappears in a pocket but shoots like it belongs on the range, the P238 delivers with style to spare. This isn't your average get-the-job-done pistol. This one does the job and looks damn good doing it. You don't see the Springfield Armory 911 in many top 10 lists these days, not because it doesn't deserve a spot, but because it's quietly slipped off the shelves. Production's been discontinued, new ones are rare, and yet those who own it, they're holding on to it like it's a family heirloom. At 15.3 ounces and chambered in .380, the 911 shares a lot of DNA with the Sig P238 1911-style controls, crisp single-action trigger, and metal frame that soaks up recoil. But it's got its own Springfield personality. The grip texture is aggressive without being abrasive. The frame angles feel just a little more modern, and the overall fit and finish are surprisingly refined. The controls are tight, snappy, and intuitive. Racking the slide is clean, and follow-up shots are fast thanks to the flat recoil curve. The trigger breaks like a dry twig, short, light, and consistent. Sure, it only holds 6+1 rounds, and you'll probably have to find one used. But if you do stumble across it in a pawn shop or gun show, take a second look. It's not just a fancy clone. It's a legit concealed carry piece that never got the credit it deserved. The 911 isn't loud or flashy. It's confident, compact, and surprisingly capable, a little gentleman with a loaded briefcase and no time for nonsense. If there's one pistol on this list that consistently punches above its weight and price tag, it's the Ruger LCP 2. You're not getting fancy finishes or threaded barrels here. You're getting a pistol that does exactly what it's supposed to, for a price that won't make your wallet flinch. Weighing in at just 10.6 ounces with a 6+1 capacity, the LCP2 is designed for ultra-deep concealment. This is the gun you toss in a pocket holster, wear inside athletic shorts, or drop into a bag and forget it's there until you really need it. The trigger is a notable upgrade over the original LCP cleaner break, smoother travel, and less of that heavy toy gun feel. The grip texture is solid, giving you just enough purchase for control without tearing up your side. It's not a range toy, but it'll get you through 2 magazines with confidence. No, it's not the easiest to shoot quickly. And yes, the tiny sights are more of a suggestion than a precision tool. But again, you're paying a third of what a fancy micro 1911 costs. For someone new to concealed carry or looking for a reliable backup gun, it's hard to beat the LCP2 for pure value. It's simple, it's effective, and it fits in places most guns can't. Sometimes that's all you really need. If you've ever racked the slide on a Walther PD380, you'll know exactly why it stands out. It's not just light, it's almost effortless. Paired with its full-sized grip and low-recoil frame, this pistol feels more like a well-balanced air gun than a center-fire defensive tool. At around 20 ounces, with a 9+1 capacity, The PD380 isn't the smallest 380 on this list, but that extra weight plays in your favor. It softens recoil, improves control, and makes rapid follow-ups a breeze, especially for shooters with limited hand strength or grip issues. One user in a defensive pistol course brought hers after struggling with both a Shield EZ and a Glock 43. Her instructor noticed she was shooting tighter groups and cycling the slide faster than ever. She wasn't just more accurate, she was finally enjoying the shooting process. That kind of confidence? Hard to buy. The PD380 isn't tactical or flashy. It's not built to impress Instagram, but in the hand, it delivers smooth, consistent performance that feels easy, even calming. The slide pull, the trigger break, the recoil impulse, it all just flows. For anyone who's ever felt punished by snappy micros or frustrated by stiff slides, the PD380 offers something simple, a gentler way to stay armed and in control. What if your 380 had more rounds than a Glock 19? Sounds ridiculous, but that's exactly what the Bersa Thunder Plus brings to the table, a 15+1 capacity, packed into a pistol that still slips under the radar of most concealed carriers. At around 20 ounces, it's not a pocket gun, but for belt or shoulder carry, it's a serious contender. The Thunder Plus is built on Bersa's trusted Thunder 380 platform, but with a double-stack magazine and full-sized grip. You get classic DASA controls, a manual safety, decocker, and a metal frame that balances recoil like a champ. The design leans more traditional, no polymer, no striker, but that's what makes it unique. It feels like a throwback in all the right ways. Despite its size, the Thunder Plus is surprisingly ergonomic, with a grip that fills the hand without feeling bulky. The trigger in single-action mode is crisp and predictable, and the long double-action pull, smooth enough to stay in control. This isn't the gun you buy to vanish under skinny jeans. It's the one you carry when you want capacity, comfort, and old-school durability in one package. Perfect for colder climates, jacket carry, or just anyone who doesn't want to reload unless it's on their terms. For the price, usually under $400, it offers something rare, a big capacity 380 that's reliable, shootable, and built like a workhorse. Sometimes, more really is more. 380 isn't just for beginners, it's for real-world carry. If you have smaller hands, reduced grip strength, or just want something light enough to wear every single day without compromise, it makes sense. It also shines for deep concealment, off-body carry, or when wardrobe limits your options. Backup gun? Perfect. Primary in hot weather? Even better. If your goal is to carry consistently, comfortably, and confidently, 380 might fit your life better than you think. Not all 380s are created equal. Before you swipe that credit card, think about how you're actually going to carry. Pocket? Waistband? Ankle? That decides the size. Check the trigger type. Single action? Double action? Striker fired. They feel different, and you need one that matches your comfort and training. Don't cheap out on ammo. 380 relies heavily on good ballistic performance, so stick with proven defensive loads like HST, Critical Defense, or XTP. And finally, shoot it before you commit. Some of these guns look great in specs, but feel like a stapler in your hand. Everyone carries different, shoots different, and lives in a different kind of daily chaos. So if you've got a 380 that served you well, drop it in the comments. Or if you've dumped one and gone back to 9mm, I want to hear why. Your real-world experience might be exactly what someone else needs to make a smart decision. If you got something out of this video, give it a like, share it with your range buddies, and subscribe for more down-to-earth gun talk. See you in the next one.